Perfect. You hear me and everything? Should be able to, yeah. Okay. Can everyone hear me okay?
Lisa Kara's on her way.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Not that you have to wait for her, but if you wait a few minutes, I know she's gonna run it.
I'll wait, we'll just wait a couple minutes, perfect, because I'm getting a call, 1 moment. Okay. I'm gonna pause the recording, let me know when you're ready. Hi.
Don't
I'm
all
ready.
the for it, because then you might not start it.
Not exactly that. He's not wrong. And I'll just cut it. Okay. Oh, absolutely, take your time, even if it's 2:30, you're totally gonna be fine.
You guys in there are fun.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, see you later. Okay, bye. Colleen, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Anything new?
No,
Nothing really?
really, no. I have another granddaughter. I got two. So thank you. Isabel, we call her Izzy.
Oh, gosh,
She's so cute. She's 7 months now.
That's so precious.
Yeah, so much fun. I know, and Courtney's gonna have a baby
I
pretty soon.
know, I'm dying to know this boy or girl.
Yeah,
It's so
I
exciting.
think they're gonna have a reveal.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm
That's
watching,
cute.
do you remember Kayla Corbin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm watching her daughter tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what to do, I need someone to watch Eva, and I said, me please, she's 9 months, I'm like,
Oh, they're so
Yeah.
much fun at that age.
she's the perfect little age right now, all she does, I mean, I've seen her so many times, but all she does is she does clap, she's the
Yeah.
happiest face, she sits there with a big smile on her face.
Oh.
Clap for 4 hours, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like my dream,
Yeah,
this hopefully will help my baby fever go away from now.
there you go.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
so I'm really excited to watch her
Fun,
tomorrow.
that'll be so much fun.
I know, just hang out, and it's beautiful weather today, and
Yeah.
tomorrow, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah,
This fall's coming, and I'm a big fall girl.
are you?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Good. You don't like winter?
No, up until Christmas.
Although, you know what, we haven't had a bad winter in the last couple of years.
No, we
I
really haven't, thank God.
haven't.
But up until like once after like the year's over, I'm like ready for it to be done. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm done with winter time.
Yeah,
For Christmas, I'm good. Actually, for Christmas, I would love for it to blizzard.
yeah,
It's the only day I'm okay with it.
yeah.
Christmas Day.
And you live in like the Gananda area,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cause that's where I live too.
Oh,
It's in
whereabouts?
Gananda. Woodhill Drive, which is on this side of the Gulf.
Yes, so I went to show my mom's house, but I grew up on Blue Spruce in Evergreen.
Oh,
Across the street from Luhana.
Yeah.
So I grew up there, then I moved off of 441, so I'm rural of 441.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't move far.
Yeah,
I
so you
had
got your, are you Gananda School District or
I'm actually Penfield,
Penfield?
which is crazy because Gananda School District is 5 minutes closer to me than Penfield.
I know, it's not.
And then 2 doors down is Wayne School.
Wayne Central. I
So
know.
I'm like the city of Macedon, town of Waller, Penfield schools.
Yeah,
But I don't even like to claim Macedon because I'm so far from
Right,
Macedon. Like
right.
if I went to the village of Macedon, it would take me, I think, 17 minutes to get there.
yeah,
But if I go to Penfield, it takes me 7.
and your taxes are cheaper too.
Yeah, cause I'm on the Wayne County border, so. The next street over is Monroe County,
Mm-hmm,
so I lucked out because I have Wayne County taxes.
and Penfield School District is a lot cheaper than Gananda.
Yeah, that's why my mom's like, she's like, alright, if I'm gonna move, I gotta move now because the taxes are getting
It's
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I had buyers living there, they were looking at this house, it was assessed at, I think, 111, taxes were like $6,400. And they were going to 250, and they're like, so you're telling me this could be more than double? I'm like, yeah, they're like, I can't afford that, that's insanity, and why is it so expensive? I'm like, nothing supports the school, Gananda has nothing.
Nothing.
Cause if you take Penfield, think about how much they have,
Mhm.
right, compared to what Gananda has, they have a pizza shop,
Yeah,
gas station,
that's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
So you're Penfield schools, or are you,
Gananda.
Or Yorgananda, yeah, cause
Yeah.
off of the parkway. The streets are so funky, because it'll be like
Yeah.
Gananda, Penfield Lane, Gananda,
Yep, it's really weird, because West Walworth Road is that way.
yes.
So like from my old house
Mhm.
down was Wayne Central,
Mhm.
across the street was Gananda, the
Yes.
other side was Penfield. It
Well,
was nuts.
cause when Chelsea had my team, she was like, does anyone know this Walworth area, because I'm trying to pull comps, and I'm. Obviously pulled by school district, she's like, I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
I'm like me, I'm like, obviously, cause the house she was listening was in private school, I'm like, do not touch Gananda,
yeah, yeah.
because it's totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah.
And it changes your price a lot,
Right.
and your affordability, it's nuts.
And I wanted my kids to go there, but now that they're gone, I'm like, I don't know.
I know, yeah, cause that's where I graduated from.
Oh, cannot,
Mhm.
oh, you did,
Mm-hmm.
what year?
17.
I graduated. Do you know Clay Thompson?
Oh my gosh. That sounds very familiar to me.
His dad is the phys ed teacher in Gananda,
Yes,
Jeff. That
yes,
was my ex-husband, yep.
wait. Cause wait, he lived in the townhouses by,
He lives in the townhouse,
Fairway
Fairway 7.
7,
Yes.
yes, cause he's with.
Sue
Sue Bean,
Yep.
yes, I graduated with Caleb Bean,
Oh,
and I know Cole Bean and Joel Bean,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is that? And he's like, yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Thompson.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's small world.
I know.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because his townhouse backs up to the Blue Heron, water.
Yeah,
That is crazy. Oh my gosh, I had no idea this whole time.
I know.
That's why I know that name Clay, 'cause I'm like, wait, that sounds so.
Yeah, it's my son and then my daughter Bailey, she's 2 years older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy then.
Yeah. I think Kayla just went to see Clay's last show, I think,
Yeah,
a bunch of them went.
yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, so I got with Kayla.
Yeah.
But I also, so where my birthday falls, I'm older from my class.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, cause I remember I had to like driver's ed and everything with the class ahead of me,
Yeah, yeah,
cause I'm in December, so
Uh-huh.
I just hit that cutoff, so.
yeah,
Like I have one of my friends, I'm almost a year older,
I know,
it's crazy.
yeah, mine's November too.
So you
Same
were,
thing.
so you were like that too, when
Yeah,
you're,
I was always the oldest in the
yeah,
class.
first to get the license, first to do
Yeah.
everything, yes. Yeah, and it's opposite, so my brother's in November, but he's younger,
Mhm.
so he got sent early. He's a year right behind me, even though we're like 2 years apart,
Oh, wow.
so. That is crazy. But yeah, that whole Canal Parkway is running comps in those houses are so confusing.
It is.
One of my friends lived in a neighborhood. Half the neighborhood was Penfield, half of the neighborhood was Wayne. So literally these two houses next to each other with different schools.
I know.
Why would they just do the whole neighborhood?
I have no idea. It's on the zoning.
Who did these lot lines?
I have no idea.
Like, so my house where I live, like, you know how your phone says like where you are? Whenever I take a picture of my locations different, it'll say Gananda, it'll say Baskin, it'll say Walworth, it'll say Fairport, it'll say Penfield.
Yeah.
Every time at my house, if I take a picture, the location's different.
Yeah.
And if you route yourself to my house, it will say it's Macedon, but it will say Gananda, even though I'm actually not in Gananda,
Yeah,
so I'm right off of Fulton.
and you can try to get directions, I mean, especially with the new development, I mean, my development's not that new, but
Mhm.
people said that they were sending them down through. It's the next road over, besides Autumnwood, I can't think of the other
Dewberry?
road.
Dewberry?
Is that?
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is?
yeah.
And people said that they were sending them down there to go through the pond, get, you know.
What the heck?
I-
Well, it's funny, cause when I used to say I lived in Macedon, I was like, oh, by the railroad tracks. I'm like, well, not even close by the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And then I was saying, Walworth, and they're like, oh, where's that? I'm like. Okay, I guess I'm gonna just stick with Penfield because it's a better gauge of where I actually.
Right.
And
And that's where your school is, so.
yeah, and. Cause when I say Macedon, they assume, oh, by the railroad tracks, I'm not even close to people, right? Right, so it's hard. Hi. How are you?
We were waiting for you.
Yes, we knew you'd be here in a little bit, so we're like, might as well just wait.
Yeah, thought I had plenty of time and then I forgot something, so I had to go back home.
I love your new listing, by the way. I might show it for myself.
Really?
Not even joking.
Are you looking for like an investment property?
We just want to camp. Airbnb it, we wanna camp to go to whenever, and I saw you listed that, I was like. Hard as I sent it to my boyfriend and his parents, and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, Bob, will I have to sign a partnership agreement with myself? He's like, no, Jordan, I'm like, it's a serious question.
Right.
Alright, let me make sure everything's good on Zoom. Let's see who we got on Zoom.
What'd your pictures turn in? Good. Yeah, good.
Hi, Zoom ladies, can you hear me?
Younger, right?
Hi.
Yes. Hello.
How are you, Heather?
Good, honey. How are you?
I'm good, okay, so let me turn the volume up just a little so I can hear if you're asking any questions, give me one moment.
And yeah, he did a great job and then they just added.
Be right back, I gotta get more of the technical in here.
That's on YouTube. But yeah, he was great to work with. And he had to do a couple takes on some of them, you know.
Oh, it's good? Is it streamable?
The only thing is, like, when he took Corona, I thought there would be this one nice shot of the woods with the opening of the cabin sitting right there, and there wasn't.
Okay.
And he said, just because of the tree cover, you know, hard to handle. Also, it's more like surrounding.
There we go. Alright, can you ladies see my screen?
I can, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so one thing I wanted to teach you guys today was a little trick that I use in ShowingTime, and it's how to send email notifications out to anyone that has shown your listing. My team typically does it the day offers are due. We send out a reminder that offers are due at this time, and if you have any questions to call us. As well as any information like, hey, please take off your shoes, or please do this, or please do that, and they get sent a notification right to their phone. Whoever has a showing scheduled or whoever has shown the home within the past 180 days. Has anyone used that before? Or is this all new?
I think I have.
Okay.
I haven't resent out, no.
So, and here's the other thing too, especially because we're getting into a really funky time in the market. I've seen more and more price reductions and still available and little things like that. That is a great tool to use if you do a price reduction to send to people, or for if still available, or if it made it past delayed, because you want everyone that showed the property to be able to know, hey, this made it past delayed, so they can get their people off their butts and get going, because a lot of buyers are in that mindset, homes are still going $40,000 to $60,000 over, and sometimes that's not always the case. I mean, I just got an offer accepted and I was shocked that it was still on the market, and all the feedback was good, and the listing agent said, I just think people thought it was gonna go way higher, and so they didn't even look. But
People are getting sick of it.
and people are getting sick of it, yeah. I mean, I just got an offer under asking price. After a price reduction, even under that price. So $20,000 under asking to end up getting this house. When we put in offers on the exact same street, that went $50,000 over what we just bought it for. So it's a really weird time, and I wouldn't have known all this if I didn't call the agent, but for you as agents and for you as listing the property to be able to send notifications out and get a property under contract ASAP is good. The longer it sits, the worse it.
I don't know how to send it to multiple.
Yeah, so I'll be able to show you guys that. Okay. If I can find where my little cursor is. Alright. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna log on to the MLS and we're gonna go to ShowingTime. This, for some reason, if you're like me, this comes up every time I hit remind me later. So on the left side, you see all these little tabs right here. So you're gonna click listing setup. So here's a listing that I have live right now. You're gonna click your listing. And here you can see all of our information, that sort of thing. So on the left, you're gonna see listing activity report. When you click this, if you guys have ever used this tool, it's actually great because you could see all the feedback that you've received and who published feedback and all that sort of thing. So if you want to send an email notification, now you can hit send notification. So right here is where you can type out your response. So you can show you can send it to agents that have shown the property in the past 180 days, all agents in your firm, in any sort of thing like that. Now, it automatically has a price adjustment right here. You can click other if you want to say, hey, offers are due today, and then you can make the subject offers are due today, that sort of thing. And then right here is where you're gonna type in your email body what you wanna say. So you can say really anything.
So you have clicked agents that have shown,
Yep.
would you want to ever click anything else?
So if I, for example, if I had a price adjustment or if my property was still available, I would wanna send it to all agents in my firm.
Right.
I want everyone to see that.
And that means all Keller Williams
Yes.
agents.
Yeah, so I can't figure out how to send it in ShowingTime to everyone. I think it's just everyone in Keller Williams.
Mhm.
So obviously not Howard Hanna, anything like that.
Can you click more than one?
Yeah, so yes. And here you can see some people opt out from receiving notifications, but if I click everyone in my firm and everyone that has shown it, 96 people, it's gonna get sent an email notification. So this would, like I said, be a great tool if you have a price reduction, made it past delayed. Or I've even been sent notifications like, hey, showing instructions have changed, please be aware that this. Like, we're using the back door now, or this or that sort of thing, or do not let the cat out, those sorts of things. And they get the notification right on their phone.
Copy to all listing contacts.
So this right here is like a CC, like if you're copying someone in on an email, so this would be like, it would send it to myself.
Oh,
It would send it to
Anybody who-
Susan, it would send it to whoever is on my listing.
okay.
Or all other listing contacts mean if, for example, I have my team admin Shannon in as a listing contact, so she gets notifications too, so that would send to her.
Can you
So-
do it from your phone or is it just on a desktop?
So I've done it for my phone, but it's harder for me on my
Yeah.
phone personally, just because it's so much smaller. So I do it on desktop. And one thing that you can do too is what I have done is I go to Google Docs and I will create little templates. So offers are due today, that sort of thing. So I just copy and paste the Google template right into here. That way it's super easy for me to do. And I've also had people forget when offers are due. I've had people send it, and I also say, always please text me if you're sending me an offer, because I actually had a listing where I thought made it past delayed negotiations, and I had 2 offers in my junk mail. And neither of the agents called me. Neither of the agents, I had no idea. So when I said it made it past delayed, they called me and they're like, hey, I submitted an offer, I never heard from you. Well, I didn't hear from you either, right?
They didn't text you to confirm?
No.
A lot of people don't.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so, and then that's where you can put this in here too, like offers are due today, please reach out to me, please ask to confirm receipt, anything like that. And it's just a great email notification for them, and it's super simple, and I think it's very effective. Also, you could also say, you could send it to all agents in the firm and be like, hey, low activity on this listing. Something like that. Really, whatever you would want to do. And I could show you again how to get here, but this is something that I have found very helpful. And it's a nice reminder first thing in the morning to send, hey, offers are due today. Cause you know, when you wake up and you're scrambling around and you see offers are due in an hour and you're like, why did I get myself into this situation? It's great to remind people. I've even had people say, I've even had agents do this where I was represented by and said, hey, these are my frequently asked questions that I've got. Like, preferred closing date this day, or hey, I have X amount of offers in hand at the moment, or something like that. So I've actually received that notification from other listing agents, because their phone's probably blowing up and they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna send an email to hit the nail on the head for everyone and let everyone know where we're at. Does anyone have any questions on this so far? I'm gonna show you again how to get here.
You can't do any reverse prospecting through this, can you? You have to go back up to matrix.
Yeah, I go back up to merchants, but like I said, anyone that has shown the property, the reverse prospecting, I can show you how to do that too. So the reverse prospecting is one thing that you'll notice is when you do it, there's a lot of duplicates. So because it's every single buyer that has a search set up. So if you're one agent and you have 4 buyers, your name's gonna come on there 4 times. So, but yeah, I find this very helpful. So again, how to get here is you're gonna go to listing setup, click the listing you want. You're gonna go to listing activity report. and then you're gonna click send notification. So this is an automatic one for price adjustment. If it were me personally, what I would do is I would make this shorter, much shorter. You want something that's more attention grabbing because this is gonna be the email topic. So you want something to say either pass delayed, like in all caps, or that sort of thing to get someone's attention. So. Any questions?
Let's talk a little bit more about showing time. Do
Yeah.
you normally include your sellers in the notifications for showings?
So I ask, well, let me go back a little bit. It depends on the seller. I have people that are elderly that I know could not be bothered with this because they will never ever understand it, so I don't even bring it up. I just take care of it myself. And then other times I know people that are very tech savvy and I have them confirm. So I'm not playing the middleman for showings. So I have them added on there. You can also choose to have your sellers added in feedback. But I typically stray away from that solely because some feedback really can be really rude. And my sellers, I don't want them to see that, right? And I also don't like feedback that says, hey, we're submitting an offer, and they don't submit an offer. So my seller thinks, okay, I have 3 offers coming in. Then if we get 2, they're like, wait a minute, I thought we were having 3. So it kind of sets unrealistic expectations, so I really stray away from feedback. And if they do want feedback immediately, I always tell them, take it with a grain of salt, because you never know what someone's gonna say. For example, I listed my aunt's house, she goes, I wanna see all the feedback. Okay. Someone said, what are they hiding? All I can smell is air fresheners, and she's obsessed with Bath and Body Works wallflowers. And she took that to heart, and they're like, well, they're probably covering cat pee or something like that. She's like, well, no, I just like Bath and Body Works, right? And so she was really upset about that, and then she was in her head, she's like, should I take them all? What should I do? And it really wasn't bad at all, like I would have told her if it was bad, but or I had someone that said, hey, my husband is 6'5" and can't fit in the house, this is houses for midgets. Why would you submit that, right? So it's like little things like that, so, or in all caps, this house smells like mothballs. You don't want your clients to see that. So I typically only just have them in on showing time to confirm appointments if they're tech savvy. And if I know that they look at their phone consistently. Cause there's some people that are like, you take hours and hours to respond. You can't be in control of confirming appointments, right? I'll have to call them for appointments. So it kind of depends.
So, if you go to the page where you're setting up the showing, so since mine right now is vacant,
Yep,
I've got it on go and show.
yep,
And then I have the 2 owners.
yep, confirming.
No, nobody has to confirm on
Okay.
go and show, so that I have the 2 owners just alerted, so
Okay.
they'll just see the text that says show and confirm.
Yes.
But I don't know if I've got them in there for seeing the feedback.
Oh, okay. So it's hard. This would be easy if I was doing this tomorrow and have an active listing that I could show you on here, because I can't go in, but let's see here if it'll let me do it.
So I think I did add owner occupant over
Yeah.
on the right.
Where's feedback here? I have it automated so no one gets feedback, so I'm trying to figure out. Let's see here.
Put in her listing and see.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, because I have it automated. Okay, I'll have to log out to see that. Let's log you in. Do you want to come up in here and log you in and I can show you? Sure.
I usually log in through Matrix.
Me too, I don't know.
So,
I can always log you in through Matrix if this might not work.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Is everyone online all good? Any questions?
I don't know if there's anyone but me, but I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, it's not typing, hold on. No, it just, there you go. And the other reason why I don't do feedback too is because a lot of people take everything too much to heart. even if they say, oh, the house isn't right for my clients, they'll be like, oh, why? And then they cry a lot more.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
It's because they make
You-
you change it.
You would have to select for them to get feedback. I have it automated, I told Shannon, my assistant, I said, whatever you do not let, I don't care who it is that wants feedback, I'm not doing the feedback thing no more. Because I just have seen it way more negative than positive, and
It creates a lot of questions in you.
it creates a lot of questions, it creates a lot of gray area, and it creates a lot of uncertainty for my clients. So when I receive feedback, I filter it and then I can let them know. One thing I will never tell them is if someone says they're writing an offer. I do not believe a single person until I see that offer in hand. And like, I'll even receive feedback after my listing's pending. And so it's like kind of silly to get feedback at that point too, right? But I mean, that's just personal preference, and that's also just because I've seen it work negatively more than positively.
How do you set up an owner occupant on there? Like, do you have?
Oh, I'll
I thought
show you.
had to pay extra for that for some reason, but you don't.
No, nope,
Oh.
no. So you basically add them as like, it's called a showing contact, and I'll show you once Lisa gets everything hooked up. So you add them on there and you put their phone number in, you put their email in. You can choose to either have them emailed or texted to confirm appointments. Or both, whatever is best for them. And I have this conversation with them up front if they want.
Right.
I have a lot of people that are like, can you just take care of that? Because that's too overwhelming for me to consistently refresh my email or check my text, because it comes in as a random number.
Well,
Right.
go to both of you, though, still go to
Yep.
listing agent and.
Yep.
Right.
If you copy yourself in, yes.
Right.
Hey, Jordan,
Yes,
you know what else is helpful is, I don't know if everybody, uses the standard feedback, you know how, you know how when you show property, sometimes different, questions come up with different people
yes,
for different agents?
yep,
Do you change your feedback?
yeah, so we have
Okay.
we have a feedback template that we use.
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
I have a feedback template that I use too, because I
Yes.
like to do that. I don't know, I think the ladies might find that helpful too.
Yes, I agree.
And you don't have to
Great
have a
point.
listing to show that.
Yeah. For sure. So, our feedback, so we have different questions, so I can't remember what the standard feedback is off the top of my head, but we ask them. I feel like more in-depth questions, like, obviously their opinion on price and that sort of thing, but, we also ask them what's the different one? We ask them if, they're interested in hearing anything about Keller Williams. I've actually had an agent that was like, actually, yeah, I would be interested. So that's a good thing to throw in there, because if they saw that you did an excellent job at your listing, you were a great agent, they might be like, oh, I wanna hear about
Mhm.
KW, and
Mhm.
hey, that could get you someone under your belt, right?
That's true, yeah.
So I throw that, and we throw that in there at the very bottom, like, would you be interested in hearing anything about KW? It's just a good little thing to throw in there. And I mean, it's automated, right? They could say no, and we've had one person say yes. So you never know,
There's something else you have on there.
huh?
I think there's something else you have on there too.
There is, now I have to remember what it is.
Yeah, I filled that out before and I was like, ooh, that's a good question.
Because it's so normal for me, so I'm trying to think of what's different, right?
Right.
Okay,
Do
let's see.
do I need to go to feedback in order to see if I've got the owner set up on
Let
it?
me see here. So feedback is where you'll set up your feedback templates.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go in on mine too. So you have. let's see here.
They're getting text messages.
Let's see. I know it's really set up the feedback template. but-
So when we put them in by doing that.
Ah, this is a great question. Mine's all automated, so I haven't messed with this too crazy much. And cause I say no feedback whatsoever, because I don't see it. I don't. Yeah, they're only getting confirmed or canceled appointments notifications.
Okay, so they're not
Uh,
seeing the
nope.
feedback unless I share it with them.
Yes, yeah.
And is there a way to just forward what you receive, or do you kind of just put it in your own words? And
I put in my own words. The reason why I do that too is because it also depends on what they are saying.
Or screenshot it if it's not too bad.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I always wanna be the one to filter that here, and I'll show you how to do, the feedback templates. And show you what mine looks like. So when you click feedback here. You do forms and settings. So. Feedback form. Here are my questions. So we have, is your client interested in this listing? We have very, somewhat, maybe, not interested. We have, please rate your overall experience, your opinion of the price, rate this list. Wait,
That's not yours. You
that's
gotta
not mine. This is the automated one. I'm like, wait a minute.
go change it where it says feedback template
Ah,
on drop down.
hey, where's mine? It's on there, I promise.
I think you just hit clone for some reason.
Huh, so this is the automated one, but you can add questions and stuff in there, or you could create a new one. For some reason, my team's is not on here for some reason. Should be. So what I can do for you guys, if I can send you a screenshot of what mine looks like. I don't know why it's not coming up, but trying to think what questions we have in there off the top of my head. Here. That's weird.
Do you have a
I was
listing?
scrolling through.
now?
I'll have 2 tomorrow. So if any of you guys want to show one of my 2 listings tomorrow, then
But you don't have one now.
no, I have one pending, not one active.
That's okay.
Let's
I
see.
could probably go in there and request and probably like request to do feedback.
Oh, here we go. I don't know why. It wouldn't come up on my templates, but so my questions are: how would you rate the interior? How would you rate the exterior? What features did your clients like about this home? And then they can type in what they liked. What features did they dislike? How would you describe the list price? If you're likely to write an offer, if they're not likely to write an offer, we ask why. And then if they're interested in connecting with someone from Keller Williams. And feel free, see, they're all optional. So you can kind of see this person didn't fill out all of them. This person did. So if you wanted to take a photo of this, feel free.
Thank you, Jordan.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it wasn't showing up on my template, but so there's like excellent, very good, fair. We don't really do any worse than that, just cause, but you can see these questions are why I wouldn't want my clients to exactly see it. But having these more detailed questions like this give me more of an opportunity to kind of, when I get the feedback, rework it and give them more information besides saying, oh, they thought it was good. Right, now I'd say, hey, they love the size of the kitchen, that was moving ready. Right, so it gives you an option to have a little bit more of something to say. But fair is like the least we go. We don't want anything worse than fair, right? And also, here's the thing, when people talk about like the list price thing, also, if you get someone that says, oh, I think it's listed too high, I think it's listed too low. Honestly, I discard that truly because I think list prices to everyone's discretion and opinion. And also, there's sometimes when you're listing a home and you know damn well it's listed way too high, but your client says we gotta list here, right? So again, once you get feedback on your own listings too, don't take it to heart. Some people are ruthless in there, to say the least. So. Thank you, Heather. Do you guys have any questions on this one?
Do you guys set up your time for like showing the combination or
Mhm.
whatever
Yes.
to just before they're ready to check in?
No, I do it as soon as the appointment's confirmed.
Okay,
And the reason why I do as soon as the appointment's confirmed, so they can see all the info, is For example, a lot of agents on my team are also showing partners. So for example, if I have someone that's covering a showing for me, as soon as I confirm it on my end, I send them all the info. So I always just have them see the info here right away. Yeah. Yep. That's just because I know that some people need a cover, I know some people are showing partners and someone else is confirming it for them.
Right.
So they need to know how to get in prior, and it saves you a lot of time, because you're not showing up at the house like, oh my gosh, how do I get in there, right? So,
And that happened.
oh yeah. Here's the thing too, that while we're talking about showings and that sort of thing, if you guys have a vacant listing, I always recommend having someone check it after showings for that day. Check the house, because we had an instance where an agent was trying to get to the house, couldn't get the door open. They didn't read the instructions that said the door opens opposite of the way you would think. So they put a shoulder into the door and broke the glass door and didn't tell anyone. So I had to log on a super run, go full investigation mode and hunt down who broke the door, so they could fix the door. So I always recommend, if you have a vacant listing, check it. If they don't have anyone to check it, take it out of your best interest and you go check it at the end of every day. Also make sure the door's still locked, because we've had an instance where the black door wasn't locked, or little things like that. Because you can put all you want into ShowingTime, but sometimes they don't read it, right? Sometimes it could be a great tool, but it's a great tool if they read it. To sum it up. Any questions?
Oh, that's great.
And if you are trying to do a template, or if you're trying to send a mass email and you're like, I thought I had it and now I have a question, feel free to call me, text me, whatever. Because I think it could be a really great tool. And to do that every time you have offers due or that sort of thing is really, really helpful. And it also saves you time as an agent. Cause I've gotten the call, hey, I forgot offers were due, I'm gonna be a couple hours late, is that okay? Right, so,
Ask my client.
yeah,
You know?
like, well, we'll see, cause we might be, right? I mean, sometimes I've been that agent that has been a little late, but you know what I mean. Does anyone have any questions, anything that they're wondering? You guys need to let me know if you try it and you like it.
Yeah. I'm definitely try it.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I've been taking notes on my classes.
Good.
I realize, like, I think I'll remember, I'm like, oh, I need to take notes.
You won't.
And then I'll go home and I'm like, I don't remember. So I'm putting in all the notes on every class.
Yes.
All the things.
Yes, and I mean, also, if you have a listing that has multiple different keys and stuff, like I've color coordinated them, and if I don't have like a little key tag, I'll be like, okay, I'll put in ShowingTime, I'm like, okay, the red key is to the shed, this is to whatever, because there's nothing worse than having a pile of keys and you're standing there with your clients, and you're like, give me 1 second, and you're scrambling to figure out.
Multifamily.
Oh, exactly, so you can also color coordinate and put it in ShowingTime, like, be really creative with it. As the more you put in there, the honestly better it is for buyer's agents.
Yeah.
And I also put myself in the buyer's agent shoes, like, okay, if I'm showing this property, am I gonna be able to see it? Because there's been times when I show up to a property and I'm walking around looking for the Supra, like, where is it? I
It's like right there, put the location.
yeah, well, the other day, I'm looking for a Supra, and I feel like I'm crazy, I'm literally doing laps around this property, and it was on the railing to the deck, but facing out, not facing in by the door.
Right.
There was no way I was gonna find it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Easter egg sometimes. So the more detailed, the better. Just makes our lives so much easier.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that my appointment forgot about me.
Oh, good.
That's
I'm glad it's helpful. I just learned, I think last week, that not a lot of people knew how to use the ShowingTime tool, the email notification, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we use this all the time. I think
Right.
it's so great.
You would think everybody would know why.
Right.
Surprised.
And if you're a buyer's agent, you showed a property and you saw that it made it past delayed, and you got a notification that it made it past delayed, wouldn't you be flying to your clients to be like, let's go put an offer in, because I know you were hesitant. They got
time.
yes. With that being said, also some clarity with that too. If you're saying it went past delayed, I would also throw in there past delayed with no offers, because do you know how many times I've seen something, oh, past delayed, and I call and they're like, yeah, well, we need 60,000 over asking, that's why it's past delayed. We denied 3 offers.
Right.
To me, that's not past delayed, that is.
Stupidity.
Yes, So I would also throw some clarification in that as well. Pass delayed with no offers. Or I've even had pass delayed, but we need listing price, so don't. You know, I mean, I've been that agent that's like, hey, I absolutely have to get listing price. Do not come to me with an offer less than listing price, I'm just gonna counter you. Right, so just be as transparent as possible, make everyone's lives a little easier,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
I
great.
think that pretty much sums it up for today.
Thank you.
Great,
You're welcome.
thank
I
you
hope that was
so
helpful.
much for.
Do you utilize the reverse prospecting? Do you find it?
Yes and no. I have done it before, and I've seen it work. I've seen it work where I've gotten the email and I'm like, ooh, right? Or I've seen it where it's like, okay, this is not a good property fit. So I don't know if you guys know, but once you, sign up for ShowingTime, they have an option to do a survey, about properties, like what they would like in a property. So when you set them up on the search, it will actually give them a score of if the property fits their needs or not. I don't know if you knew that feature.
Nope.
It was a recent discovery for Laura on our team discovered it because she saw her one client was having like 75, 99, 15 and random scores. So your client can choose to do this optional survey. So I've had some people do it as well. I've looked, and a lot of the reverse prospecting emails that I get is like the 0 score. So it works, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I don't know if I've ever necessarily gotten an offer accepted on my listing or when I represent a buyer because of it.
Right.
But it's good to know. I've made some calls and like, hey, your client favorited this and I haven't seen you
Right.
schedule showing. I think that's what I use it the most for is when I see someone that has 4 clients heart the property and hey, I have no showings and you haven't showed it yet. Cause sometimes like, oh, I didn't even realize, I didn't even go in and check, my client favorited it.
Right.
And they'll come up on top. Let's see if I can see it. On a pending listing. I see it's not, see, I can't click the reverse prospect anymore. But if you click reverse prospect in the first couple of if there's anyone that favorited listing, it'll come up at the very top. And I called those agents and I said, hey, where are you? Right?
It's going to.
Yeah, exactly. But crazy times we're getting into. Anyone have any crazy experiences happen? Like getting an offer accepted under asking, anything crazy like that?
I've been working on a for sale, like bank owned property for like a month.
Oh, I just did one.
And
How's
it's
that?
just-
Tell us.
He said, he's like, hey, if you accept it right now, this is right before the changes, so it must have been like the 15th or something of August. He's like, if you accept it right now, I have to get the bank to pay your commission. Call my client, call him back, yep, we're good, accept it. And he called me right back, he's like, hey, the bank countered with no, we're not paying your commission. I'm like, yeah, what? And he's like, it has to be a concession and you need to send me your buyer's agreement. With your buyer in order, if you want a concession, you have to send it to me, and then Susan's telling me I can't send it. He's like, but if you want the offer accepted, you have to send it. I'm like, this is crazy. And then I had another situation recently, this one really will blow your mind. It's hard.
Going back to that, just
Yeah.
curious,
Yeah.
can you do a continuation stating that for the
For-
specific property that your buyer will fulfill your commission? Cause I don't really feel, I feel like that's an invasion of privacy to send your partnership agreement to someone.
It is, it totally is, and he's like, I have a 10-page memorandum from the bank, I've been doing this 15 years and.
Okay, but we've all been doing this for 2 weeks with the new changes, so.
Well, right, and so.
In all honesty.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and I'm like, listen, I want my buyer to get the house, but
Mhm.
he's like, if you have, like, there's no reason he needs to see that, cause when I click the concession box. I'm not putting what it's for, I'm just clicking the box, putting the
Yeah,
number,
exactly.
and then what do you care what it's for? Like, why do you need my agreement? It's really stupid, but again, sometimes, you have to play ball with these listing agents because you want your clients to get the offer. So
Well,
this other listing
yeah.
agent up in Geneseo, Susan had contacted me with a local agent there, cause that's out of my area, I don't work there. My client was looking in this area, in my area of expertise, Geneva, Seneca Falls, Waterloo.
Oh, yeah, it's a totally different field out here.
Well, Geneseo, I was like, I don't work out there, and I try to stay in my markets where I know what I'm doing, and I had plans, so I couldn't show it, so I said, what I'm gonna do is, cause we have a good relationship. I'm gonna, I'm gonna have somebody show you the property and I'm still gonna represent
Yeah.
you. So I was gonna pay this girl, out of another KW agency up there, was gonna pay her $50 to show it.
Mhm.
Well, I called to schedule it and the guy's like, well, are you the one showing the property? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, then you can't see it. I'm like, excuse me?
What?
He's like, well, and then he's like, according to article, I said, no, like, I'm not gonna show it, but he's like, are you gonna be the one writing the offer? I said, yes. He said, then you have to be there, you have to show it.
That's hypocritical, because your client could totally go to an open house and you don't have to be there and you can still write an offer.
There's a million things that could be added to that, but this guy doubled down and was like, no. So I had to literally say, okay, she'll write the offer, so I showed this client all these properties and then had to essentially give my client away so that.
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense, and I called Susan, she called their broker, nothing ever happened, they never called back, like nothing ever came of it, so this deal just closed last Tuesday. And this girl was the agent on it, and I can't prove it, but I almost wonder if they were like talking
That is so weird.
and like set me up, she knew this guy for 30 years, she told me that, I'm like, is this a setup of some sort, I don't know.
Well, I also, what I've been getting is a lot of people do not have the same understanding of what's going on right now. And
No.
every brokerage is doing things a little bit differently.
Mhm.
Like I just got an offer accepted with a Howard Hanna agent. And she was like, how's KW doing it? Because this is how Howard Hanna's doing it, and I need you to sign all these Howard Hanna commission forms.
Oh, god.
And she's like, and I need your partnership. I said, no, you don't.
Ugh.
I mean, why, how does it matter to you if I'm getting, because they were offering me 0% commission. And they said, I need you to sign off on 0%. I said, that's fine. She's like, and how are you getting paid? I need to know how you're, I said, you do not need to know how I'm getting paid. That is an agreement with me and my client. And, I said, it doesn't matter to you, right? So you already offered 0%. And so we ended up figuring it out, and she didn't actually need to know, but a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what's going on. She apologized. She's like, I'm sorry, this is just what my impression was from my brokerage, is what they told me. And this
Yeah.
is my first time doing this.
Yeah.
So it's it's like the blind leading the blind almost, and it's like, okay, I'm glad we're actually in an environment that we know what's
That's
right,
fact.
what's wrong, because if not, I would have totally sent it if I didn't actually
Yeah.
know that that was wrong.
Yeah.
Or if I was a newer agent, or if I was a
Yeah.
yes man, right? You
Uh-huh.
would have totally sent it and
Yep.
invaded the privacy of your client, cause what
Yeah.
if that commission wasn't 3? What if
Right.
it was 2.5, right?
Mhm.
So it's kind of those things that you're not gonna know until you're in that situation,
Yep.
and I had no idea that I had to sign Howard Hanna forms, right?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting what's actually going on.
Yeah, it really is, but you're right about that, it's nice to be here and kind of be confident in what your broker's telling you, because we're always not.
Right, I told my
I think if
client,
I was still there, I would have been, what is happening?
well, I told my client, I said, I'm not sending you my buyer partnership agreement, absolutely not.
Like, how do they not know to not, you can't ask for that, it's just weird to me,
Well, their broker wanted to know how
Yeah.
I was getting paid apparently.
it's not their business. It's
Exactly.
really not.
It's very
It blows
interesting.
my mind. You know, it was funny too, because this guy was like, well, I could, if your broker has a problem, he's going off, he's like. If they got a problem with it, have your broker call me, and it's
Mhm.
going on and on,
Yep.
I'm like, okay. After his whole tangent, he's like, who's your broker anyway, I'm like, Susan Benz.
He probably showed up.
You know what's funny, he started playing a different tune really quickly, he was
He's like, I'm not messing with Ms.
Oh,
Glenn.
really? He goes, oh, she's really intelligent and smart.
Yeah,
She'll
she is.
understand within 5 seconds why I need it. And I'm like.
Exactly.
Spit out my drink. He was like such a tough guy. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden I say, cause he asked, who's your
Yeah.
broker? I told him and he was just different too,
Mhm.
completely.
Well, you want us to be interesting, so I went on 2 listing appointments last week, I have 2 listings going on tomorrow. And I talked to them about the whole commission things, and both of my clients said to me, I just wanna do what we've normally done, let's just do the normal 6%, they said. I want the buyers to put in their best offer, and I think that that's how they're gonna put in their best offer is
Right.
having that compensation paid for. And they said, what do you think? I said, well, obviously, it's not up to me, it's up to you and what you're comfortable with. However, I mean, put yourself in a buyer's shoes. Would you put in your best offer knowing you have to pay your agent $6,000? They said,
Right.
no, I would take that off the price. It's essentially getting paid anyways.
It's gonna.
And honestly, that's truly how buyers agents always do it, right? Technically, you wanna think about it like that, and they both told me. Both of them, I let them make the decision themselves, and they both came to the conclusion, 1, I don't wanna be the guinea pig with this new thing. I don't wanna try it out and see if it's gonna work for me. And 2, let's just do what we've always done. They said it's no different to me.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And then I just got an offer accepted that my client had to pay me 3%. And so, and that equals $10,000, and she said, well, I'm just gonna take that off of my top price.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. She took that, she had a number in her head and she goes, all right, minus $10,000, that's my offer. So to her, she's like, okay, well, it evens out now, cause I was gonna pay this.
Every client has a top, for the most part, I guess there are outliers,
Yeah.
but every client has a top dollar they're willing to pay for
Mhm.
any specific, property.
Mm-hmm,
They're gonna have that top dollar,
Yep.
no matter if we pay the commission, if I pay the commission, it doesn't matter, they're gonna have the same dollar amount. They're
Yes.
gonna be all in for it anyway.
yes. Yeah, so it's a very interesting time, and it's also how everyone interprets it, and I also think the new exclusive right, I think it's, people are almost overthinking it. Because truly, it's how it's always been, right?
Yeah.
Commissions have always been negotiable, it's nothing different. Now it's just more engraved that we have to make sure it's known, right? And it's really the same practice as it's always been, it's just you're doing a little bit extra explaining and a little bit extra
Now that I've got like
forms.
2 or 3 buyers agreements in the last couple days, I'm like, all right, it's not so bad once I.
No, and I always tell them, I'm like, look, it's kind of awkward knowing how someone gets paid, right?
Right,
But I said, I'm a very transparent person and I wanna be transparent with you, and this is. If my commission was not fulfilled, this is what my fee is.
right,
And
I don't think it's a bad thing.
And I've never had someone tell me, no.
Me neither.
Cause you gotta show your worth and you gotta show, hey, I'm worth this 3%, whether you're paying it or whether the seller's paying it. And I also had someone, this was right before the changes went, so this was brand new for me, this is totally new territory. Commission was 2.5%. Before we even saw the house, cause this was when commissions were in the MLS, I called him, said, hey, I know you love this house, however, would you be comfortable paying me the 0.5? And he actually took a step back and kind of was like, well, yeah, I already agreed to you. I already agreed I'd pay your full 3 if you needed to. He's like, yeah, that's totally fine with me. He's at only 0.5%, he's like, that's nothing. Like, and it was like so crazy, because it's like, all right, the fact that I had this conversation up front made it so easy breezy, like no problem.
Yes.
And if I didn't have that conversation, then he's like so excited right off, I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Forgot about this, but hopefully you can pay my 0.5%, right? Then that would be a totally different conversation.
Mhm.
So it's almost as just a better practice just to get in the habit of already doing that.
And the dual agency, like I wasn't doing the agency and fair housing in advance.
Yeah.
Remax didn't have us do that, so we weren't.
Oh,
doing
really?
that. No, I swear, like we were doing it with the offer, then I get here and they're like, yeah, that's a no-go.
Cause basically that means that you wouldn't be able to have your listing shown by other people in your brokerage, or if you represent the buyer.
Right,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, so now I'm like, okay, now
That's crazy.
It is insane, like, that's why I said when I came here, I'm like, oh my god, my eyes are so open, because it's just, you could learn everything all over again, you really could.
But yeah, it's like, I have a couple of friends that I'm trying to get over to KW, and they've been in business longer than me, and they're like, I still don't even know what I'm doing.
You probably know more than that, and that's what's crazy.
Yeah,
You know?
oh yeah, or they always, it's a, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing so well, how are you doing that? It's just like, you gotta be with who you surround yourself with too, right? Because if you're surround yourself with people that don't know what they're doing, you're never gonna know what you're doing. Or if you surround yourself with people that wanna learn and are eager to learn, that you're going to learn with them and be eager to learn with them, right?
And what like breeds confidence, I feel like knowledge.
Yeah.
is
And
what
yeah, I
is
agree.
giving me more confidence.
I mean,
in
even
this
these
whole-
classes, we're
Yeah,
just being able to go into these classes that you find interesting, hey, that just helped you with the one little thing that would make you that much better, right?
100%.
And that makes you better for your clients as well. Because who knows, if you didn't send out that ShowingTime email, if you didn't do anything like that, people might not know that it may have passed delayed. People might not know that, hey, this house is still available. They might just think that you just forgot to change the status, because they assume everything says.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
That was my TED talk for the day. Love KW, love you all, love ShowingTime, yay!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please let me know if you guys end up using this. I would love to know if you found it successful.
We'll give you all the credit.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, how do I get back over here?
Let's see.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, honey. Have a great day.
You too, girl.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.